Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to A Book for My Sister podcast. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Cassie.
And we are just two sisters. We're hanging out and we're talking about our favorite books. So we hope you guys will follow us along in our reading journey. Make sure to subscribe and follow along. You can follow us on Instagram and leave us some comments and let us know what you're reading. So today we are going to give y'all some horror book recommendations, some spooky book and thriller books in general, just some spooky month recommendations because
it's Ween season.
It's Ween season. So we just wanted to give y'all some Halloween recommendations. We're not going to be really spoiling anything too much because these are just like some general recommendations and we're not going to be deep diving into anything this episode. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But first, Cassie, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking I guess it's a matcha. I don't know. I'm at the parents' house and it's just Colleen's green tea powder, but it doesn't specify matcha. It just says green tea powder.
It looked green.
It is green. It doesn't have a super strong flavor, but I did what you do and I made it with I whisked it into milk, into soy milk. And so it's very creamy. It's very good, and I sweetened it with the natural maple syrup. So it's very good. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it like a matcha though, but it's delish.
Yeah, your green tea latte.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds yummy.
It is.
I've got a matcha and a little iced matcha. It's a strawberry vanilla iced oat milk matcha. And Trader Joe's actually came out with...
That sounds delicious. Oh my gosh.
Joe's came out with a bourbon vanilla bean syrup.
Yum.
And you know what? They're going a little too crazy with the bourbon vanilla because it tastes like bourbon vanilla. Like it tastes like
gross.
If you were to like lick vanilla extract, you know how it kind of tastes like like vodka or something?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's bourbony, but it's a syrup like for your coffee and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want my coffee to taste like bourbon.
You could put it in an
really
Irish
careful.
Coffee.
I don't want to do that.
I think that'd be a
So
good
you
idea.
have to be really light. Well, you got to be a little light-handed with it. So I don't like the taste of the bourbon in vanilla. But they are only making bourbon vanilla fancy things. So I continue to buy it because that's what they have. But it's pretty good in matcha. In coffee, it's kind of weird. In matcha, it's yummy. And I just shook it up with some strawberry jam. So there's like strawberry jam pieces in here,
I've been meaning to make
ideal.
one with blueberry jam at my house because I got some really nice
That would be
blueberry
good.
jam. I'm sorry, the dogs are fighting. Dogs, stop fighting, please.
Oh my God.
Can you just play anywhere else? Oh my gosh. I had a matcha yesterday and I sent you a picture of it. It was way too green for me. It was like grass.
That looks perfect for me.
And it was red bean vanilla. Delicious flavor. I just couldn't.
Oh my
I did
God.
actually drink the whole thing. But it was just so grassy. And Lainey...
Wait, is it seasonal?
No.
Or no, it's not
No,
seasonal.
it's
oh my
just
God, I have to get that.
Yeah, no, it's at this
Next
local
time.
coffee shop I don't go to enough. It's
my
very
God.
good. But because they usually make their matchas
Cool.
very strong, that's why.
Oh, sure. Okay, we'll have to go when I'm there next.
Yeah,
'Cause,
we
oh my
will.
gosh,
It's very cute.
That sounds red bean. That sounds so good. Okay. Now I'm excited. All right. Well, that sounds absolutely delicious. But
That's
yes,
absolutely
delightful.
Smells absolutely delightful.
Are you ready to get into all books?
Amelia, I was born ready.
Oh my God. Okay, amazing. All right. Okay. So our first book that we are going to, or that I'm going to recommend, because the books that I'm recommending, I don't think Cassie has read a single one of them.
Nope.
So, and I'm really more of a horror reader than she is. So there's also a lot of my books on here. So apologies in advance. You're going to be hearing my voice a lot this episode. Apologies. But this first book that I would like to recommend to you guys is called Model Home and it is by Rivers Solomon. And I picked this book up originally because the cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's like this brat green color, but it's got this like spooky house, and there's like a spider and like an eyeball in a window. And it's also a signed copy, which I just thought was really neat. So I bought it originally because the cover was just so beautiful. And I'm just a sucker for like a gorgeous book cover.
Aren't we all?
So in this book, we follow our main character, Esri, and their two sisters as they come together to grieve their parents who are found dead at the beginning of the book. Esri and their daughter, who they both live in England, they come back to Texas, where they're from, to be with Esri's family and sisters Eve and Emmanuel. So they all have E names, which is pretty fun. The three of them grew up in an entirely white neighborhood as the only black family living there. And throughout the book, Esri kind of explores like what that meant for them as a child and what their mom instilled in the three of them, along with kind of what she overlooked or what she missed or wasn't paying attention to when they were growing up, because she was trying to raise them to be resilient and their own individuals. And so she maybe, didn't notice some things that were happening in their childhood along the way. A lot of the book is written as flashbacks, and so it is a little bit non-linear, and then it'll jump back to the present and like what's happening with Esri as they're kind of dealing with their parents' death. And while they're back in their hometown and back in their childhood home, they are dealing with and kind of trying to work through the generational trauma of their family, and work past it so they can actually enjoy their life, because they are pretty depressed at the beginning of the book. Some houses are haunted with ghosts, and some are haunted with things much scarier than the supernatural. So, which is Esri's childhood home infested with? You'll just have to read to find out. That's my little synopsis of the book.
That sounds very good.
Overall, it is really good. The writing is really beautiful. I do want to read more books by Rivers Solomon. Those are on my TBR. So it's really beautifully written, and honestly, the way that Esri was written as a gender fluid character was really like respectful of them as a character. And so I thought that was really beautiful. I do want to do a little content warning. I mean, all horror books are going to be about horrifying things, because that is the point. But this one is really intense in terms of like, obviously racism, because that's sort of the plot of the book. But also homophobia and transphobia, as well as like child SA. So I just want to give y'all a little content warning for that in particular. But highly recommend. And of course, as I said before, the cover is stunning.
Let me look up the cover of this book. I need to see it for myself. That is so gorgeous. Wow.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the green.
The green.
Rat green has become one of my favorite colors over the last year, as I'm sure it has with many people. So I really like it. Alrighty, Cassie, do you want to tell us about the next book?
Yes. The Devil Aspect by Craig Russell. This book is a very creepy historical thriller for all my history baddies. Takes place in pre-World War II Czechoslovakia. A lot of political tensions as the background of the book, but that's not really what it's about. It is set in 1935 Czechoslovakia, where a young psychiatrist, oh gosh, their names. This psychiatrist Victor takes a job at an isolated asylum with a name that I cannot pronounce, but it is cool. And this asylum, and this is not real, but there are some real historical aspects of the book, like I said, but it's fiction. So in this fictitious asylum, this asylum houses the infamous Devil's Six murderers, 6 of Czechoslovakia's most infamous killers. These killers include the woodcutter, the clown, the glass collector, the vegetarian, the skiomancer. Is that how you say that? Skiomancer? Skiomancer, or the sighting. He has 2 names, the skiomancer or the sighting, and the demon. And I was going to go into a little detail about what each of them did, but I think you can just listen to their names and figure that out for yourself. Just infer whatever you want. It's creepy. Okay.
Read the book.
So yeah, these are the most violent killers in all of Czechoslovakia. And this psychiatrist, Victor, he has a theory that he wants to prove. It's called the devil aspect, roll credits, where he believes that the capacity for a human to commit violence resides deep in our subconscious and is triggered only by trauma. He believes that it can be reached, studied, and solved. So he can, solve their killer tendencies, their violent tendencies. He thinks he can fix them. And so he does this through interviews where the patient is drugged and put into a hypnotic state, therefore allowing him to access their subconscious. And he really he interviews them, and he wants to understand why they committed these crimes and try to resolve the violence within them. And that's the main plot. But there's a side plot. So a serial killer called the Leather Apron, a Jack the Ripper copycat basically, is butchering victims throughout Prague. So he also uses the Devil's Six expertise in crime to help the police solve these murders. As the police are investigating the Leather Apron murders, eyewitness accounts and strange coincidences lead them to the asylum. How can a lockdown asylum be the key to solving these crimes? You're just going to have to see. And the asylum itself is inside an old castle that, according to Slavic myth, was built on the gates of hell.
Oh my God.
So how does that come into play with the recent murderers and the overall psyche of the patients and staff? You'll see that too. This book has an incredible twist. I did not see it coming at all, and I could not put it down. It was delicious. It was so good. I highly, highly recommend it. And very creepy and very scary.
Maybe I'm going to have to read that book.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. I
never even
put
heard
my
of that
copy
book.
in a little free library, so you're going to have to get it from the library.
You gave away the book that you like. Man, when I find a book, I
yeah, because I wanted someone else to read it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm being nice. I'm paying it forward.
I know, that's nice of you. I went on a thrift books binge this week, and I purchased 8 books in 2 different transactions because at first I was
in the sauce.
I was like, I have self-control, so I'm only going to buy 2. And then I realized that I actually needed to buy some more. So I ordered, because I have a list of books that I've read and that I liked and that I want to own because I liked them so much. And I originally got them from the library, and so I'm working my way through my little list. Woohoo! But anyway, shout out to Thrift Books, you guys. Maybe they'll sponsor us when we
sponsor Thrift Books.
Sponsor us. Okay. Please. So this next book that I would like to recommend to you guys is called Slewfoot, and it is by Brom, Brom, Brom.
Interesting.
I know. And it's, again, gorgeous cover. The cover is the reason that I bought this book, once again. And it's actually, I think he's an artist. There's, in the middle of the book, you've got some illustrations that he did, some paintings of the characters, of your main characters. And they are beautiful. And then at the beginning of each chapter, you get a little drawing that he did, above, where it says chapter 6 or whatever. So,
nice.
You get some really nice artwork in this book, and I love a little book with some art in it. I also think we are recording this a couple weeks before Halloween, obviously, but Florence and the Machine's new album is coming out on Halloween.
I'm so excited.
I know. I think
that's gonna be so witchy.
I know. I think that this, if you would like a companion read to the new album, obviously I don't know what all of her songs sound like on the album because it hasn't come out yet, but it's about witches, and it's witchcrafty, her new album, and this book is about witches. So I think that if you want this takes place in 1666, so it is Salem witch trial era. If you want a little companion to the Florence and the Machine album, Everybody Scream, I think this is it, you guys. Okay, so this book, Slewfoot, takes place in the year 1666, and we follow Abatha, who's our main character. She is a young woman from England, and her father sold her as a bride to an older man whose name is Edward in Connecticut. I guess that's what they were doing back then. Because her mom passed away, And her father is like an alcoholic, and he spent all of the rest of his money on alcohol. And so in order to make more money, he sells her to Edward. And thankfully, Edward is a very nice man. He's slightly older.
Good.
But he is very kind to her and very nice. So Abatha and Edward are just kind of living their lives. They have a farm. And Abatha's mother was what they called a cunning woman. And this was a real term from back then. And so what that meant was that she would like make people little like charms and like potions, but it wasn't considered witchcraft. It was like
apothecary.
Yeah, it was like on the cusp of witchcraft, but it was like people were okay with it because it was sort of benefiting them, and it wasn't anything that seemed super like sacrilegious or devil work, I guess. And they were called cunning people. And so her mother was a cunning woman before she died, and so she kind of raised Abatha to be this way. And so Abatha, in turn, she kind of inherited this skill. And so she is giving people little charms and things. Like she gives one of the women in town like a little charm to help her, I guess, appeal to the man that she has a crush on. So she like to kind of help her. And she's like, this will help you, and it does. So that's kind of what Abatha does, but she's got to keep quiet about it because she is in Puritan New England, and so she doesn't want people to think she's a witch. So she's like doing this kind of on the down low, but like people, like the women kind of know about it. And so Abatha's living her life. She's not super happy because she's been sold to this man in Connecticut, and that's not where she wants to be. And so we're also at the same time following Father, capital F, Father, who's a mysterious spirit being who has been resurrected by 3 spirits at the very beginning of the book. And so he's been resurrected by these spirits. He's kind of trying to figure out who he is because he was something else once, but he doesn't really know yet what he was. And so he and Abatha's paths collide. And when that happens, she starts to learn about her true self and who she can become, and like kind of what she'll give herself permission to do with the help of her new friend, Father. So it's very spooky. It's very good. Abatha, I think, is a great main character. She's very strong, and I really like reading it. Obviously, I'm not sure that we could call this historical fiction necessarily.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it that because it's set in colonial New England. And there are people that have the same beliefs that obviously Puritans did in New England back then. So I guess you could call it historical fiction if you really wanted to stretch the term. But I was reading it and I was like, damn, I would have been murdered if I lived in 1666.
Damn.
Because Abatha will like, she's not even like, quote unquote, talking back to your husband. I don't think you can talk back to somebody who you're in a relationship with because you're an adult and not a child. But obviously this was 1666, and so they were like,
yeah,
she's talking back to Edward. And Edward's brother is there, and he is a dick. Edward's brother is an asshole, and I can't remember his name right now. And so his brother is like, you need to slap her. You need to put her in her place. I could have her put in the stocks if I were to report her that she did this to you right now. I was like, that is nuts. I literally would have been living in the stocks if I was in 1666. Yeah. So, pretty crazy. But it is a spooky little book. I really liked it. I read it pretty quickly. You get the illustrations, which I really liked. I did see reviews of people saying this book was freaky. And I was kind of waiting for something freaky to happen. I don't know if people just don't read horror that much, and then they read this and they were like, that was freaky. I was expecting something freakier than it was. But nothing freaky happens in this book. It's just like a witch book, you know? It's violent, but it's not crazy. It's not crazy violent. So I was kind of like, okay, guys, maybe y'all just don't know what that term means. I don't think you do. But I would recommend this 100%. And this is one of my new favorite books. For sure. Highly recommend. Slewfoot, everybody.
Slewfoot.
So the next book that I want to recommend to you guys is the only book that I don't currently have in my hands because it's in the mail, as I stated about my thrift books order earlier. But this book is called The Only Good Indians, and it is by Stephen Graham Jones, who I I have a love-hate relationship with Stephen Graham Jones's books for the most part, because his Indian Lake trilogy was difficult for me to read just because of the writing style that he chose for that trilogy in particular. And I was like, if this book is written like those, I'm not going to like it. But it's totally written in a different style. And I really enjoyed it. So it's very spooky, and he does write very beautifully. His writing is gorgeous. And this is no exception. So, he also writes gore in a very similar style to Grady Hendrix. I feel like he wants you to kind of flinch and like feel what's happening. I almost prefer his gore to Grady Hendrix's gore. It's like more chilling in my opinion. So in this book, we follow 4 men who are childhood friends. They're kind of all of our main characters. And their names are Louis, Ricky, and Gabe, and Cass. So that's the 4 of them. When they were... Yeah. So we kind of meet them when they're adults. And they're separated at this point. So at the beginning of the book, they're not super close. But those are our main characters. And when their lives kind of changed course when they were teenagers, and they killed a deer one winter on their reservation. They were already kind of out hunting. And so they were trying to just get like one more kill of the winter, I think. And so what they did was they found this deer, and they were like, we can kill this deer. But as they're hunting her, they realize that she's pregnant, or I think they've killed her already, and they realize she's pregnant. And so, and they don't, yeah, okay. And so, and they realized that, and that kind of changed, just like when they did that and they realized that they had killed a pregnant deer, that really kind of set their lives on a different track, and it kind of has haunted each of them individually as they grew into adults. And so we follow their lives kind of as they're adults. Nature is starting to exact the payment that she believes is required after what they did all those years ago. So our villain, quote unquote villain, in this book is doing something that from their point of view is like a necessary revenge plot. And so that's like the very bare bones description, because I don't want to give away too much, because I do want to do a more in-depth episode on Stephen Graham Jones in the future. But I highly, highly recommend this book. It's very good. It's very beautifully written. I think that Stephen Graham Jones is very good at kind of making you like empathize with all of his characters, or almost all of them. Even the ones that maybe you're supposed to think they're villains. He's like, are they the villain? I don't know. Why don't you read it and decide for yourself? And so I think that his book, or this book in particular, is a really good read. And it's very like chilling and spooky. So definitely recommend for Ween season.
For Ween season.
Okay, Cassie, why don't you tell us about the next book?
Oh, I will.
Recommend. Yeah, do it. I'm gonna egg you.
Okay.
Do it. Tell us about the book.
Do it. Okay. My next book is called All the Blood We Share by Camilla Bruce. This is yet another historical thriller, except this one is actually based on a very true story. But, of course, there's some artistic liberties because it took place in, like, the 1800s. And we don't know anything about the 1800s, obviously.
That is not true. We don't know anything about the 1800s. That is not true at all.
I meant we don't know the ins and outs of the family that this book is based on. We don't know their daily. We don't know their daily tasks. We don't know what their day-to-day lives looked like. Yeah, so obviously
it's not a biography of these people.
It's not a biography. It is a book about a very real family, the Bender family, otherwise known as the Bloody Benders, a family of serial killers in the Old West. Love that. The story takes place in Cherryvale, Kansas, where the Bender family has just run away from their past life and moved into a small, decrepit farmhouse with the hopes of running a bed and breakfast for weary travelers.
How nice.
The young daughter, yeah, isn't that it's so nice of them.
How sweet.
That's
really.
So nice. Wow. When you think about it, like,
They were doing
cool.
community service.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they charged for it.
Well, yeah. That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're actually really sick. The young daughter, Kate, has the gift of clairvoyance and the thirst for blood.
Are there
We find
10
that out
exclamation marks after that?
Because I was emphasizing her thirst for blood. She's
Okay.
crazy.
She's
She's like
crazy.
kind of the instigator of all
Yeah,
the
she is.
murders. Okay. So life is hard in the Old West. Allegedly, no one knows.
We
anything
presume.
about the
We
Old
don't
West.
know what happened back then.
We just, from archaeology, know that life was hard. From excavating the saloons.
Yeah, the saloons that were underground, I guess.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah.
to be excavated.
That was like pre-Ice Age, man. I don't know.
You're so
Okay.
right.
So life's hard, right? Money is tight. And the Benders were used to a more comfortable lifestyle back at their previous home in Pennsylvania. Why did they have to leave, you ask? You'll find out if you read it. But yeah, they had a whole farm, and they were living good in Pennsylvania until they had to run away because they were basically running out of town. Okay, so now they're in Cherryvale, and they're broke. So to earn a little extra money, along with the boarding costs from travelers, Kate performs seances and tarot card readings for the townspeople, while her mother, Elvira, sells medicinal potions and tonics to make it. So she's kind of like a little witchy too, except
She's a cunning woman.
She's a cunning woman.
Except she's a scam artist.
Yeah, like she'll be like, drink this tea 5 times a day and it'll get rid of your gout, and then they die, and they're like, she's like, oh, well, you must not have drank enough tea. Like, you know, that kind of jam. So that's how they make a little extra money on the side. But they're still pretty unsatisfied with their collective earnings. The family decides to earn money in a more criminal and sinister way by robbing and killing their overnight guests.
Oh my god.
What?
What?
That's crazy. That's crazy. At first, the killings are only a means of earning money, but soon they become a thrilling experience for this bloodthirsty family. Kate especially enjoys it, and she keeps trophies from each victim by stealing one of their buttons and keeping them hidden away in a jewelry box. Will their crimes become known? How long can they maintain their facade as an honest, hard-working family? Only time will tell. And I guess we won't know because there are no history books on it. So.
We have no idea what happened to this real family.
Actually,
I don't think we do.
no, you really don't. Actually, if you read the book, we really don't have that much information
don't.
on them other than their crimes they committed. We don't
That's
really,
true.
yeah. So that's a great book, a little history lesson, teach you about the Wild West.
The only
And
book that we
Westward
have.
It is the
about the
only
Wild-
written documentation of life in the Wild West. It's crazy.
100%. It should be taught
Yeah.
in schools, honestly.
It really should.
Part of the curriculum, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great book.
The next book. Cassie, I think that you would really like this book that I'm about to describe.
Okay.
I think you need to take it with you when you're here.
Okay.
So, the next book that I would like to recommend to you guys is called Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. This book also has a beautiful cover.
Oh my God.
Man, can you believe it? It's pink, you guys. It's pink, and there's a house on the front covered in blood. It's like a blood red house, and it's dripping, and it's just such a fun little cover. So our main character, her name is Vera, and she has a mysterious past and no relationship with her mother. However, one day her mother calls her and asks her to come home because she is slowly dying. So Vera comes home. She can't resist the call of her house, and she doesn't want to abandon her mom after, even though they haven't had a relationship in so long. But she hates being home because her father was a serial killer.
Damn.
He was arrested. I know. He was arrested.
That's tough.
When she was in high school. And she has not spoken to him since. He is still alive, I think, during the book. He's still alive. She just does not speak to him. He used to write her letters and everything, but she never wrote him back. And before that, though, they were incredibly close. She was like a daddy's girl. And she really looked up to him. And so when he was arrested, she was like totally shocked. And just horrified. So when Vera arrives at her home, she finds that her mother has a tenant in the small carriage house next, like behind the house, and he is an artist. And she will rent out the carriage house quite a bit to make extra money, and it's always like someone who's obsessed with like her father's past as a serial killer, basically someone who like is there to like exploit the family, basically. And so the artist is searching for signs in the house that a serial killer was there and making art based on like Vera's childhood with the serial killer. And she suddenly begins to receive notes in her father's handwriting, but the artist says that it isn't him who's writing them, and he's like, maybe you're writing them. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's very weird and creepy. Is the house haunted after all of the slayings that took place there? Is the artist leaving the notes? Vera has got to get to the bottom of this mystery. So that's what the book is about. It's really good. I read this book, I think, in like a day. Because it's a pretty easy read. It's not super...
Sounds very good.
...complicated, but it is really good. The twist is very good. And it's creepy. So it's definitely more, I guess, basic in terms of like writing than the other books that I have been describing to you guys, but doesn't make it any less fun or good or creepy.
I would definitely like to borrow that.
Yeah, I will add it to the stack of things you're going to take home with you.
Yay!
So it's definitely quick and enthralling and just a fun little read. So if you're listening to this on Halloween and you're like, what can I read today? This is what you can read today. Alrighty, everybody. The next book that I'd like to recommend to you guys, I am just going to give you the title and the most brief synopsis humanly possible, because this book is incredibly difficult to describe. And if I try and describe it to you, we're going to be here for like 10 or 15 minutes for the synopsis. So here's what I'm going to say about this book. Our Share of Night is by Mariana Enriquez. This book is very good. It is magical realism, which is why it's so hard to describe. So if you're not a fan of magical realism, you are not going to like this book.
I don't even know what that means.
It's sort of like, it's like trippy, and it's kind of like what's real and what's not real, but the lines are very blurred. And it can be kind of hard to read, and it is a little bit of an intense. This book, I think, was my first real dive into magical realism, and it was a pretty intense introduction into the genre, but it was very good still. It did take me kind of a while to read. This isn't really a quick read. But in short, it's about a father and son, and they're the mother, who's the wife of the father, has just died. And she died in a bus crash. And so after she dies, the father and son travel to her family home to kind of handle the legacy that she left behind. Her family is part of a secret society called the Order, and they use mediums to channel the god that they worship. And so they are going back to this kind of like dark family. Everyone's really cold. And so that's kind of like the history of their family, and they've got to deal with her death. And so the book is split into different points of view. So we get the husband, the father, whose name is Juan. We get the mother's point of view. Her name is Rosario. She is the one that died. And Gaspar is the child, and we get his point of view as well. You know, it's about the history of Argentina as well, and like the political environment during the 80s and 90s. So it's about that, and it's about magic and, you know, seances and mediums and like dark families. So everything kind of happens really slowly in this book. So if you want something that's going to be like climbing a mountain to read, but in an enjoyable way, I would definitely recommend this book.
Okay.
It's very good. It is translated into English, and I think the translation is very beautiful and poetic. There were some people who said online that they did not like the translation, and I would have to disagree. I don't speak Spanish, but I think it's beautifully written. It's creepy, and it's gay. Okay, so read this creepy gay book. Thank you.
Better read this creepy gay book.
Yeah. Or you're homophobic.
That's really homophobic.
So the next book is a little bit more fun. It's called Bury Your Gaze. And I said that slowly because one time one of my friends asked me if I had read this book, and I thought they had said bury your gaze, like Gaze, and barrier, like a barrier. And I was like, what the hell did you just say? What is bury your gaze? So it's bury, like they're dead. So Bury, your gaze, Gays. It's by Chuck Tingle. And this book is fun. Okay, it's like a campy little fun thriller novel. It's not like a horror book necessarily, but it's kind of like thriller fun. And it's noir style, like Monster of the Week situation, about a screenwriter. He is gay. He's closeted, publicly closeted. He's not like personally, like in his personal life closeted, but he doesn't want, I think, a lot of people to know that he's gay. His name is Misha, and he is a gay screenwriter, which is very hard to say for a show. And he's writing the season finale of the show, and he wants it to end with the two main characters, who are both women, kissing each other. But who would be able to guess this? The network does not want this to happen. And they actually want to kill off one of the main characters. I know. So Misha is kind of going through this journey to figure out what he needs to do, because the network is basically like, you need to make this happen. You need to write it this way or we're going to fire you. So he is like, what do I do? And he's kind of at a crossroads of trying to like figure out things about himself and how to make this happen. And at the same time that he's trying to figure that out, his characters that he's written in the past are sort of starting to come to life and hunt him down. So it's really good. I read this book in 4 hours the day after Election Day 2024. And so obviously I was in a dark place that day.
State.
And I think this was honestly a good book to read for that day. It has a good ending. You know, there's a nice little character arc, and I thought this was a really good book. So highly recommend. This is just a little fun little read. So I definitely recommend. And again, who knows what I'm about to say? The cover is beautiful.
No way, really?
No way.
Oh my God, really?
I know.
That's crazy.
The last book that I would like to recommend to you guys is called Youth Juice. All lowercase. So it's supposed to be kind of like Goop. It's in like Goop handwriting. Goop like the company.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, so the handwriting is goopy, or is it Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina?
No, it's like Goop like Gwyneth Paltrow's company. And that's what this book is sort of based off of, is Goop. I think this book technically would count as body horror. And it's sort of in the same vein as The Substance, which I have not seen because I don't want to see it. But it's supposed to be.
You don't have to.
But I think it's supposed to be kind of like The Substance, but I think this came out before The Substance did. But it's kind of like in that same vibe. So Youth Juice, it's by E.K. Sathu. This book is about Sophia, who's our main character. She joins the staff of a Goop adjacent company in New York City. And it's clear to Sophia from the beginning that something is wrong with the company, but she doesn't really know or care. Sophia is sort of morally gray. At the beginning, she's morally gray. She just kind of gets worse from there. And she is striving to look perfect on the outside, even when she's a pretty horrible person with a crumbling life on the inside, but she doesn't really care. She wants to be beautiful more than anything else. She has to wear gloves, or she makes herself wear gloves, because she has been biting her nails and her fingertips her whole life. And so she wears gloves so that people can't see them. And so she wants to have beautiful hands, like more than anything. Tree Whitestone is the CEO of this company, and she takes Sophia under her wing and asks her to try a new moisturizer called Youth Juice. And this magical moisturizer appears to be a miracle and gives Sophia the hands that she's always wanted. And then she finds out what it's made of. Will she care? What is this moisturizer made of? And what is happening to all of the young interns who keep disappearing from the company? What? I guess you'll have to find out. Oh my God. This book is honestly, if you want a crazy twist, don't read this book. There's not a crazy twist in this book. As you're reading it, you will probably guess what's about to happen. So this is not my favorite book ever, but it is a pretty quick little horror read, a little body horror situation. And, you know, I'll recommend it for spooky season. It's got a pink cover. The cover is actually not my favorite thing in the world, but it is pink, so I can't complain too much. Anyway.
Yeah, the books that I suggested, neither of them have nice covers. They're just
I know.
covers.
All the Blood We Share is honestly... I think I picked it up originally because of the cover. And I think it just kind of looked kind of witchy to me. And so I think I picked it up because it looked kind of witchy. And then I started to read it and I was like, this is not about
witchy.
witches. But okay. Cassie, I believe you have a little story that you would like to share with us.
My gosh. Last week I mentioned how
actually that hasn't happened yet. In the release. Okay. It won't happen.
Well,
in the future you will hear Cassie preface the story.
I will mention that's funny. I will mention in the future that my boyfriend has been wanting me to watch a horror movie with him for Ween season. And I am not a horror. It's so funny. I like horror books. I hate horror movies. I just don't want to see that. Not in my home. I don't.
There's just something different about watching it on screen versus like having it play out in your head and on a page.
Yeah.
You know?
And so it's like, because my imagination, I guess I'm just not that creative. I can't imagine that. That was terrifying. So he picks, and I told my roommate Samantha that this is the movie he picked, and she literally went, "What? Why would he pick that?
Why did you let him pick the movie? Why did he get to pick?
I don't know, because I would have picked like
I told you what to pick last
scary.
time. I don't remember what it was.
I know. I would have picked like Halloween, like with that guy.
Oh, Scream! I told you to watch Scream.
Yeah, Scream. Like I would have picked Scream or something, and like that's not what I don't know.
Scream is fun.
He picked. I know it does sound fun. He picked the movie Sinister. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Don't watch it. It was really scary. I did start crying when I was watching.
Oh my god!
I was so scared. But it was like whenever I'm in pain or if I'm like really scared, I like laugh and cry.
Oh my god!
So I was like crying and like freaking out a little bit, and so he was like, "Oh wait, she's laughing. This is funny." And I was like, "It's not funny." And then he was like, "Oh, she's not having a fun time." And so I was not having a fun time. It was so scary. It had everything I hate. This movie has everything: creepy children, spooky face, gore. Okay, it was gore, but like, it was not. It wasn't. No, it. I hated it. It was terrible. Jump scares. I hated it.
Isn't it
so
like
bad.
A bunch of jump scares?
No, actually, there were only like 3 or 4.
That's a lot.
Really? Okay, maybe there was like
I feel like that's a lot. I don't know.
2 of them I saw, and I went and I did scream, and I was hiding behind my boyfriend while I was watching this movie, and like I literally was just hiding behind him. He's like, it was so scary, and the third and final jump scare, and because the villain is like an old demonic deity, basically. Like he's just like this demon that's been around.
It's like Hereditary.
Well, okay, I didn't know that. He's just this demon that's been around for years and years, like hundreds of thousands of years. We don't know because history. We have no idea.
We don't have any
we have no written record of this deity. But yeah, so he is so scary. He is so scary. His face. Oh my god, when he first appeared on screen, I about threw up. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
What?
I literally was so terrified.
I kind of want to Google it, but I'm not going to.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think you're going to like it.
I'm home alone right now, and for tonight.
And if anyone listening has seen it, they're probably like, you need to calm down. It was not that scary. It's scary to me, okay? I thought it was, because I was telling my boss about it, and she was like, I want to go. So she Googled it, and she was like, I guess that's scary. I was like, no! It's terrifying. What do you mean?
Maybe you're not a trustworthy
literally,
source.
I was screaming, crying, throwing up. I literally felt, I was so scared. And so I watched the first 2 jump scares, and there were creepy children too, which not great.
Not creepy.
One was a creepy child jump scare. One was his face. And then the final jump scare was like because he actually wasn't on screen that much. He only like was on.
That almost makes it worse because you can't be like desensitized to seeing him.
Yeah, no, yeah. The demon probably had about a total of 4 minutes of screen time.
Oh, whoa.
Crazy. And my boyfriend was like, okay, there is a big jump scare coming up, and it is him. Like, it is him in the flesh. Do you want me to cover your eyes when it happens? And I said, yes, because I do not think I will survive it. I genuinely
Has he seen this movie a bunch? How did he know?
Yeah. He liked this movie. He was like, oh, yeah, it's one of my favorite scary movies. And I was like, you are crazy. This movie's terrible.
This is a red flag.
No, red flag, actually. No, because when I was telling my roommate Samantha about it, she was like, no, it's a great movie, but I would not have let you watch it. So
oh my God.
I had a horrible time, and I made us watch Hocus Pocus.
Okay, good.
To calm. Well, this is actually
palate cleanser.
I watched this. Yeah, I was like, next time I'm never doing this again. I will never watch a scary movie again with you unless it's like Scream or like a classic.
Yeah,
like
Scream
Halloween
is good.
Or like
you should watch Scream.
I don't know. Yeah, like I'll watch that, but I was like, I will not watch anything with you. We are gonna watch Hocus Pocus. We're gonna watch Over the Garden Wall. We're gonna watch. What else did I want to watch? We're gonna
Practical Magic.
Charlie Brown. And we're going to be happy, and everyone's going to have fun.
Okay.
So, yeah. With the horror movie, I literally, like, and I stayed over at his house, and I literally, like, at, like, 3 a.m., I was like, oh, my God, I have to get up to pee. I can't do this. I can't do it. I made him walk me to the bathroom.
As you should, honestly.
I was terrified.
This is his fault.
It was so scary. And then the next day at work, we have a huge storage room, and the light switch is across the room, so you have to cross the entire room and it's dark and there's stuff everywhere. And I've always been scared of that room because it's haunted, and I will not expand on that.
Okay, great.
It's haunted, and so I'm always scared of it. But I had to put something away. I walked into the room. I walked 2 feet into the room. My body literally went, nope. And then I turned around and walked out, and I didn't put it away. I had to wait for my boss to come back, and she came back to talk to me. And I said, oh, by the way, were you gonna go in the storage room? She's like, yeah. And I said, can you walk me? Because I couldn't make myself walk into the dark. I was so scared. I was so scared.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
He felt really bad.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh my God.
Yeah, he felt terrible, but
that is crazy.
Yeah, he was like, I knew you said you didn't like scary things. I didn't think you were gonna react like this.
Well,
yeah.
Have you seen any of Jordan Peele's movies, Cassie?
No. And I don't think I will.
Well,
they look scary.
Nope is really good. Nope is one of my favorite movies of all time, actually. I think you should watch Nope.
I just don't know.
Nope is not
I would never watch the one with the family.
Us is scary. I
would never watch that.
The first time
watch that.
The first time me and Thomas for everyone else is my partner of 7 years. And so when we first watched, because Us is one of Thomas's favorite movies, so when we first watched it, I was covering my eyes basically the whole time. But we were also watching it like at night, and that was like a choice. And I don't know why we made that choice. Yeah, I don't think you would like Us because it is pretty scary. The first time we watched it, I was covering my eyes the whole time. And the second time, which was last year, then we rewatched it.
Why'd you watch it again?
Because I wanted to watch, because it's one of Thomas's favorite movies. And I was like, I want to rewatch this so that I've actually seen this movie. And it is really good. But it was still scary. It's still got some scary parts. But Nope is not. I think you would like Nope because it's not that scary. Nope is more of like a thriller movie. Like Plus, Keke Palmer is in it, and I adore.
Oh, okay, I do love Keke Palmer.
You need to watch it for Keke Palmer. It's really good. Okay. I highly recommend. Nope is one of my very favorite movies. I want to see. Jordan Peele, he didn't like write this movie, but he like produced it or whatever. His studio produced it. The new football, that Him movie that just came out. But it's like about like the cult of like being in like football and like racism in football and stuff. But it's like demon. I've only seen like one, but
it does sound familiar.
It doesn't have very good reviews. Like people aren't really liking it.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw the trailer.
It has like Marlon Wayans and Julia Fox in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be any good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but I still kind of want to see it. So we've got to go see that movie. I think we're actually gonna go see Beetlejuice in theaters next Saturday. They're playing it at a movie theater, so we might go see that.
That's fun.
I know. I love seeing it. Last year we saw Coraline in theaters because it was like the 15 or 20
also
years,
very
15
scary.
year, I think, like anniversary of the movie, and we watched it in theaters, and then they had a little like 15-minute video afterwards, like showing you how they made all of the little dolls for like how they like the act, because it was like claymation, and so how they actually, or it wasn't claymation, but they made like doll characters of each character, and they made them do the facial movements, and that's how they like animated it or whatever. So that was really fun. I love seeing a little cute spooky movie in theaters. We wanted to have some honorable mentions on here as well, just for spooky's sake, because this is like
extra spookiness,
extra cute fall vibes. I wanted to shout out Spooky Lake Month on Instagram. There's a person on there who every October she does like a little reel on Instagram every day talking about a different spooky like body of water. And I think that y'all really like it. She goes, hello. And it's really, I really like it. Hello. So her handle is Geodesaurus. Geodesaurus. Highly recommend. I look forward to her little videos every day. And then we also obviously wanted to say, if you haven't watched Over the Garden Wall yet, like what are you doing? Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
You have got to watch Over the Garden Wall.
A little spooky, fun Halloween.
Adorable as well.
And it's an animated show and has, I don't know how many episodes, but it equals about the length of a movie.
10.
If you watch them all.
Yeah, it's movie length. It's like an hour and a half to watch 10 episodes.
When we lived in the same city, we would watch it on Halloween? Around Halloween.
We would watch it around Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I haven't even watched it yet this year because Thomas only likes to watch it like once, and I like to watch it twice. So I need to watch it, but I haven't been in the mood yet.
Gotta watch it twice.
Maybe I like to watch it just an additional time, but I need to watch it tonight. I need to think of a fall movie to watch tonight since I'm here by myself.
I watch Hocus Pocus. Watch Practical Magic.
I was gonna watch Practical Magic because I've never seen it before.
You have to watch it.
I haven't seen it, so I think I might watch Practical Magic.
So good. You gotta watch Practical Magic.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna eat I'm gonna make some lamb cumin noodles. I have a little pint of my favorite ice cream, and I'm gonna sit and watch.
That's so cozy.
I know. I'm really excited. So Over the Garden Wall, y'all need to watch that because oh my god, Frodo is in it, like the guy.
Yeah,
Elijah Wood.
I love that meme. It's like Elijah Wood, Elijah wouldn't. You know.
Yeah, okay.
So funny.
So Christopher Lloyd is in it, you guys. National Treasure. Oh, I was also thinking about watching Clue, though.
That's a good one.
Clue is good. That's got Christopher Lloyd in it.
That is a good one.
And Tim Curry. I have a crush on Tim Curry. And lastly, I wanted to mention, I this year got myself a little Nintendo Switch. Not the new one, because I'm not loaded. But just the first one or whatever, like the little Switch. I have the Switch Lite. That's what it's called. So I don't know, if I think these games are also available on other platforms, but I have the Switch Lite, so that's where I'm referencing this from. So one game that I super want to recommend to you guys is called Witchwood, but it's witch with a Y, so it's WYTCH Wood. And you are a little witch, you play as this little witch, and she has to go around and you have to make it through all of these little trials basically, and you make potions and you collect ingredients so that you can make potions and make things. So there's a mystery that you have to find out at the end what's going on. You have to wake up this sleeping lady. It's very good. It's beautiful. It is a gorgeous game. There's all these little worlds that you go to collect ingredients and to solve things through, and there's side plots that you have to solve as well. It's very good. I'm currently replaying it. I've already played it all the way through one time, and so I'm replaying it slowly because it's such a cute game. It is so cute and cozy. 100 out of 10. Highly recommend. It is so fun.
Sounds cute and cozy.
And then this week, By Sweet Carol has come out. This game is hand-drawn animated in the style of old Disney movies.
I saw a trailer for it.
Yeah, but it's a horror game. And so I have been so excited for this game for months, and I pre-ordered it, I've only been able to play it twice so far because I haven't had that much time because it's only been out for like 2 days. But so far, it's pretty, but I am not sure if it's good as a game. She walks so damn slow, you guys. She is walking so slow. It's making me crazy. But there's also just minimal instructions, like very minimal.
Psychological torture.
That is the horror of the game, how slow she's walking. But there's very minimal instructions, and so I'm kind of, every time I enter a new space, I'm like, what the hell is going on in here, and how do I know what to do? And there's no instructions, and it's kind of confusing. So far, I'm not sure if it will actually be like good fun to play, but it is very beautiful. But I would maybe wait if you wanted to play it, but you weren't sure if you wanted to spend $20. Maybe wait a month and see what people have to say. Because right now, people are kind of hating on it, but it's only been out for 2 days. So I'm not really reading those yet. And I'm playing through it myself. And I am not a huge gamer. I'll only play a game if it's got a very specific agenda. And if it's cozy. I will not play a game that's not cozy. Okay? That's a little fact about me. If it's not a cozy game, I'm not going to play it. So,
don't want
but y'all should definitely play Witchwood because, oh my God. That game is a blast and a half, and it's beautiful.
One final spooky recommendation.
Okay.
My favorite podcast, Ghost Huns, like Huns, Hun. It's 2 British women, and they are so funny, and I love them. And it's comedy and scary, so they tell scary ghost stories, but then they're both comedians, so it's freaking hilarious, and they have great accents.
I kind of like our podcast so far, if you ask
me. Oh my God, wait, it's kind of like, except we're not comedians,
we're funny.
We're just,
listeners, tell us that we're funny.
Better tell us we're funny. Who said that? That's crazy.
That's not me.
Yeah, no, love those ladies. Ghost Huns, highly recommend. It's very fun. Beautiful. Very fun, spooky listen. Some of their stories actually scared me like really bad. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, but most of the time they also choose like silly stories, like outrageous stories, and so it's very funny.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for our little spooky season roundup of our favorite books and just, media that's spooky. Even though technically spooky season will, in the most technical sense, be over tomorrow, it's still spooky season in our hearts all the way through November.
Always.
It's still a nice little list of post-Halloween fall things for you guys to engage with. So we hope that you will check out some of these books or games or podcasts. And if you have any favorite spooky books or media that we did not mention, please let us know. We want to hear what you guys are listening to and reading. Tell us. So we will see you all next week for another installment of our Grady Hendrix Deep Dive series. We're going to be talking about Final Girl Support Group and how to sell a haunted house. So strap in for some more classic Grady Hendrix creepiness for our next episode. So keep on yapping and reading until then. Okay, guys? Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Goodbye.